Hey everybody, I'm Sin. Today we're going to do Sin's Week in Reading, or a reading roundabout of sorts. What I've been up to, what I've been reading, the good, the bad, and the barf. The Barf is a book that I DNF'd because it was so cringy, but we'll talk about that. We'll get there. Also, I got a new beanie. Oh, I like beanies. You may have noticed I wear them quite a bit in my videos, especially since it's wintertime and it's been pretty cold. So this week in reading, we finished the book Hex by Thomas Olde Heuvelt. This is a fantastic, fantastic horror novel. I freaking loved it. It was creepy. It kept me up at night. If I read a book and I can't sleep because of it, it's a good horror novel. This was recommended by a fellow booktuber. This author was highly recommended by the Jeff Word. I will link his channel down below. If you're looking for a really good horror that will keep you up at night and is about curses and witches and present day town, this book, oh man, you're in for a real treat. So yeah. We finished that, and that was so good. And then I started reading this next book that, oh, you know what? All right, I'm going to have to hold it up, and it's going to look like garbage. We'll find a better image after. I started reading Along the Saltwise Sea, and you can't see it because it's green screen. So we'll get a picture to put up there. It is the second in the series, which I did not realize because they didn't say it anywhere on the book. But they recap it, so you get a recap of what happened, and it's very magical. It's about two characters, Zib and Avery, and their magical journey in this weird land, and they're looking for the Queen of Wands so that they can get home. And what happens in this book, the premise is they go and they sleep in this cabin that they come across because they're so tired because they've been walking for a long, long time. And so they go and they sleep there. And then it turns out that it's a pirate queen's cabin. And she's like, you're going to have to, since you stayed here, I'm going to need you to work off your debt. So you're going to come and be on my ship and work off that debt. And so far, it's pretty fun and whimsical, and I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, even though I have not read the first in the series, because when I grabbed this at the library, I did not know. But I'm enjoying it so far. I'm about, let's see. I'm 70 pages in, and there are 191 pages, so not terribly long. On the shorter side of stuff that I read. That one, so far, so good. So then next, I put on hold at the library the book A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I believe that's a Book of the Month book. It sounded interesting and intriguing to me, and I thought I might like to read that. I like really magical and fantastical and fantasy-based books. I think if I were to say, like, my favorite genres are horror and fantasy. And, you know, I like a little bit of everything, too. But, yeah. So, yeah, I have that on hold. Put that on hold. I'm not sure how long it'll take. It looked like there was one copy at a distant library, so they might just be able to ship that right away. So hopefully I'll have that soon. I got another library book that I picked up the other day called In the Night Garden. And this is by The Orphan Tales by Catherynne M. Valente. Now, this book was recommended by one of our friends over on Twitch, fellow streamer, Axie McX Stuff. So he streams over on Twitch. He is also a indie game dev. He created a game called Flashlight that's like a multiplayer zombie game. I will link his Twitch channel and the link to his game down below as well. But he recommended this book. I have in our Discord, which I haven't really attached yet to this. I don't know if anyone's interested in joining our Discord. I can put that down in the links too. But we have a lot of it's gaming related, but we have a channel for specifically booktube. So the booktube channel is all books, anything that has to do with reading, authors, and all that good stuff. Anything you want to recommend to me that you think is good, throw that in there. So yeah, I can put the Discord link down below as well. But yeah, this was recommended to me by our friend Axie McX Stuff. And he said it's one of the most magical books that he's ever read. So I'm very excited to get into this soon. So soon. Yeah, I don't even know Let's read the back. I don't even really know. I read a little bit about it, but... So it says, welcome to the Arabian Nights of our time. A lush and fantastical epic guaranteed to spirit you away from the very first page. That's a big promise there. But I'm intrigued. So, secreted away in a garden, a lonely girl spins stories to warm a curious prince. Peculiar feats and unspeakable fates that loop through each other and back again to meet in the tapestry of her voice. Inked on her eyelids, each twisting, tattooed tale is a piece in the puzzle of the girl's own hidden history. All right. And what tales she tells. Tales of shape-shifting witches and wild horsewomen, heron kings and beast princesses, snake gods and dog monks, and living stars. Each story more strange and fantastic than the one that came before. Well, I mean, that sounds pretty darn interesting to me. From the ill-tempered mermaid to the fastidious beast, nothing is ever quite what it seems in these ever-shifting tales, even and especially their teller. Adorned, enchanting lyrical fantasy offers a breathtaking reinvention of the untold myths and dark fairy tales that shape our dreams. And just when you think it's come to an end, you realize the adventure has only begun. That sounds magical and wonderful. I look forward to reading this. Thanks, Axie McAxe stuff. So yeah, In the Night Garden by who? Catherynne Valente. I'll put all this info down in the belows. In the bellows. In the below the video. Alright, so what is the barf? I don't normally like to talk bad about books, but I DNF'd this Dark Tarot book by Christine Feehan. I was like, I'm going to give it 100 pages. And every page was so cringy and cringier than the last. Like, it was so unenjoyable to read. The story felt rushed. It felt like olden times, because the whole premise is like finding your life mate. And basically once you find your life mate, you don't have a choice in this matter. They're like, oh, pretend you have a choice, but no, you don't. It was so cringy. And the way like the guy was describing the woman and her curvaceous body and her breasts and all that, it was just so like this, like, was this written by like a horny, angsty teenager? It's freaking terrible. It was just cringy and gross. And I couldn't handle it, so I had to stop. That's the barf. That's the barf part of the show. Dark Tarot is not good. And it's crazy because I went on Goodreads to see what the rating was. 4.5! So there's people out there that like this horrible, like... I guess maybe the Lonely Hearts Club enjoys this cringy crap, but I couldn't handle it. It was like, I was embarrassed reading it. Like, embarrassed for the author that she wrote such horrible crap. Anyways, I'm gonna stop being awful. You know what? She's made a career out of it. This is the 35th book in the series, so good for her. So yeah, that was the reading roundabout for my week in reading. Anywho, thanks for joining me today in the Book Nook. If you enjoyed your time, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and come back again, and we'll talk about more stuff, and blah, 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 blah. And maybe we'll have more good, bad, and barf. I don't know if I'm going to keep it as being said barf, but we'll see. Anyway, until next time, we'll see you later. Bye!